Well, I will say a few more words after Roger. First, we all met Cirano. At the time, he spelled his name C-Y. But during his last years, he decided to return to, I guess, what was the Italian origin, the name on his legal papers, which was CI. So let's keep both. He was called Cirano de Dominicis, and there's a capital D, DE. Well, in French, a small d would be a sign of aristocratic origin. Cirano was very proud of his proletarian origin, so let's keep the capital D and not forget it. So this is our dear Cirano, not far from his last years, still working. So he was born in a family of Italian migrants. His father was an electrician craftsman. And if I remember right, your father, Roger, is too. So that's not only Nice that you have in common and working so much. He was a brilliant student, but you will see in this room there are many brilliant students who got awards in mathematics and physics. Cirano was very proud of winning the competition for all French high school in history and geography, which is indeed unusual. He was a student at École Polytechnique, and he was brilliant, and therefore he would be promised to a career in administration, but for some reason he went during the school to MIT, where I think he attended, for a few months, he attended lecture, I think, by Julian Schwinger. And therefore, when he came back, he decided to go for a PhD to Birmingham. And that was, as you know, Birmingham School at the time, Piles were there, was extraordinary because this is where he met lifelong friends like Paul Martin. He worked with Jerry Brown, Jim Langer, Elliot Kleeb, Stanley Mandelstam, and many others. That was an extraordinary time for Birmingham, and I'm not sure, well, Piles went to Oxford. So he had a first PhD on many-body nuclear problems, and he worked with Paul Martin, with Jerry Brown on nuclear forces. I guess at the time they were inspired by the success of perturbative diagrammatic method in QED, and therefore they started to extend them to the nuclear problem, but it's a problem of strong interaction. But at the time, what else could one do? And so there was a famous paper by Jerry Brown, De Dominicis Langer. I'm saying all that because you all think here, most of you, that Cirano worked only on spin glasses. It's not true. So he joined Saclay in '59, and with Claude Bloch and later Roger, he developed what is called the diagrammatic method for interacting fermions and bosons. Non-trivial. They derive a weak theorem for thermal expectation value. If you have a non-interacting density matrix for free boson or free fermion, they derive the existence of a weak theorem, which is of course the basis for diagrams, and in which the elementary contraction is just a Fermi or Bose factor, an important thing. Then Roger and Cirano tried to derive the Landau theory, what are quasi-particles, etc. A beautiful sequence of technical works to base Landau theory on the existence of poles of the true Green's functions and the quasi-particles. I'm glancing rapidly to paper with François Anglaire. They wanted to extend the Legendre transform indefinitely, and that was an amusing sequence of technical work. I'm not sure that this was used really. An important paper of Cirano was an accidental encounter with Philippe Nozière at Harvard, and they wrote a paper which was extremely which became extremely famous on the singularity in the X-ray absorption and emission of metal. And they solved an incredible integral equation, Mushkelishvili's type, and a famous paper. Next was the renormalization group era, and of course there was a lot of work of Cirano and renormalization group. I think the main ones concern critical dynamics. He wanted to extend, after the work of Ken Wilson, Halperin Hohenberg, he wanted to understand how the renormalization group would deal with critical dynamics and the various model A to F that Bert you had introduced. No, maybe it goes further than F, I forget. No, I don't know. So critical dynamics, there are many papers. The last one is not critical dynamics. I quoted it because this is a joint paper with Henri, the only one left, but with Claude and Cirano. Then he started working on spin glasses, and there I cannot really enumerate all the papers. I think there is a sequence of important paper with Imre Kondor in which they try to understand from the traditional or from the field theory approach, they tried to understand Parisi's approach to spin glasses, and they wanted to understand the stability of Parisi's solution. They had to start with 6 dimensions, which is the critical dimension for spin glasses, for the ansatz, and at least they proved with Imre that there were no negative eigenvalues, which was a sign of at least no instability. I'm not sure it's stability, but no instability. So that was important at the time. I think I cannot go through all the 30 years of spin glasses. Fortunately, he wrote a beautiful book with Irene Giardina, which is called Random Field and Spin Glasses, a Field Theory Approach. This is about 2006 or something like that, which contains a lot of what he did. On this glassy period, I think I've tried to list a number of collaborators of Cirano on this. If I've forgotten some people, please forgive me, it's not intentional, but this is what I tried with my Google Scholar. So that was a long period, and as Roger, I think I share completely what he said from Cirano. His ability to tackle difficult algebraic problem until the end was incredible. He would never give up. At the beginning, he worked, as Cirano recalled, you remember the time where there was no laptop, but people would get out some huge piles of paper from the computer, and he would recycle all of them and use them for his calculation, endless calculations, beautiful. So his fortitude in fighting with problem was incredible. He loved beautiful ideas, and as a human, as Roger recalled, he couldn't stand oppressive regimes and inequity. So he has assumed a number of responsibility. He was the head before François, long before François of this group. He was president of the French Physical Society, had awards from CNRS, from Academy, etc. So he had a very beautiful career, fulfilling career. And Cirano gave me this picture. So since he gave it to me, I think he loved it. You recognize maybe Ariane here. She has changed her hair. I don't see Florence. She couldn't make it. Okay. So this is, I think, in New York. Cirano was very happy. And, well, we were very fortunate to know him. Thank you.